Just going to talk a little bit about the user experience and the conversion funnel, the meetup that took place in Sussex for the Waukesha area Internet Marketing Meetup on April 6th. First, we defined user experience as being more about how people feel about using the system and not so much about the system itself. However, we're also talking about the conversion funnel in this presentation, which describes the system more so. Now, with the user experience, it is very subjective in nature because everybody can have different feelings on how a system works and the usefulness or ease of use. And it is also dynamic because if you make changes to the website, for example, then the user experience is going to change over time. Now, regarding the conversion funnel, it really describes the track that a consumer takes while visiting the website in order to get to a specific action, a desired action like purchasing a product or filling out an email form. Now, just to talk a little bit about tips on landing page and conversion optimization, we have a few tips here. It's a great idea to do the give and get principle where you offer something free, maybe a free sample or a preview of a product or service in exchange for the visitor's email address or other information. It's a great idea to keep the trust and credibility in mind. Adding logos oftentimes will help build trust. Payment logos or companies, associations that you belong to as well. And even more so today, people are very interested in star ratings and reviews, like Google Maps uses that a lot, and Angie's List and other places around the web. And even social counts, like how many people are following your Twitter or Facebook account. It's a good idea to look at directional cues, and that is trying to emphasize the actual call to action. For example, in this photo here, it says "Eat here." There's a big arrow to where the door is. I'd certainly consider opening that door and eating there if I was hungry. So arrows, direction of view, and colors. A direction of view talks about, like for example, if there is a person in a photo on the website, then maybe the person should be looking at the headline, or they should be pointing at the call to action, for example, to encourage people to take that next step. Specifically regarding the calls to action, first you need to know what it is you want the visitor to do on the page. If it's just an informational website, like a brochure site, then well, there's maybe not much you want to do, but if you want somebody to call you or email you or take an action, you need to make it really obvious. So it's great to use buttons instead of maybe just plain links, so you can really call it out and make it obvious. Now there are ways to measure how well your website performs and measure that interaction and make improvements over time to your conversion funnel and conversion rates. So first of all, if you're using web tracking software, you can actually see the different sources. Is it page search, organic search, referral, or direct traffic? And there's many different metrics you can look at as far as how well certain pages are performing versus others as well. And if you're using Google Analytics, there's great functionality in there that you can compare conversion rates and percentage of conversions coming from certain traffic sources. For example, this one here, the direct traffic is the best converting. And that's probably because when people type in the domain name itself and they fill out the contact form, well, it's probably because they already know who that company is. Now, for example, though, you could see that the paid search traffic is the highest amount of traffic that actually converts, and direct traffic is only 17% of their total conversions. So that's great to see with Google Analytics, for example. There are different ways that you can measure how well people are interacting with your website. You can ask them with a survey using KISS Insights, or you can even use Crazy Egg to measure where people are actually clicking on your website.